Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and welcome to another brick haul with another package from bricklink.com. Right, let's get straight into this. Ooh. Very well packed, here we go. Lots and lots of little bags it looks like. Yep, that's everything. Not the biggest haul this time. Let's start with this one. This looks like stickers. And oh, very well wrapped. No danger of these getting bent. And there we are. So it's the sticker set from the wrecked shrimp boat, the hidden side set 70419, and I do already have this set, and all the stickers are applied in their correct places on that shrimp boat. But this was about 50-60p, and I thought they were quite useful stickers for use throughout my city. For a start, I've got some with Maria written on it, so they could be another boat. It'd be a shame to have a boat name the same thing as a boat I've already got, but I'm sure I can use that maybe on a business, or perhaps even for my graffiti artist who could sign her work. Who knows? Because regular viewers will know there's a female graffiti artist, Rogue, in Brick Nottingham. I've also got this lovely shrimp logo, which could, I don't know, go on some packaging or a lorry or something like that. A couple of lifesaver rings, control panel, serial numbers, cracks, wooden boards. I mean, I can use virtually all these stickers, I think, so that's a really good one for that price. Then I got lots of minifigures because they all had a sort of issue with them or something. For example, a series minifigure like this one, the video game guy from series 12. He doesn't have his controller. But nonetheless, I've already got this minifigure, so I can just use these as constituent parts to sort of make other minifigures in my city look great, because that's a really nice head with glasses and big bushy eyebrows, headphones, nice Player One shirt, and some jeans with what looks like a sort of memory stick hanging from his belt. So that's a really good minifigure, especially since they're all around the sort of £1, definitely under £2 mark. Here's an old Lego minifigure, but it's a torso that I don't have. I can obviously use the red trousers, I can use the red hair. Probably won't use the old style face, because it does look a bit overly simple next to the more modern ones. But the torso I don't have. Nice red stripe, obviously only on the front, but I can definitely use that. Here's another more recent one from the Ninjago movie, Jaywalker. Now again, I've got this guy already, and he's missing his selfie stick with his mobile phone on and all the rest of it. But I can give somebody else this nice scarf, and he's got a wonderful torso on underneath. You don't really appreciate sometimes when they come with things like scarves hiding. So he's got a collared shirt and sort of, I don't know what you'd call that, waistcoat. Well, it's not really a waistcoat, is it? It's a very sort of cardigan, I suppose, with this sort of flashy sort of motif on the front. Some pockets on the trousers. This lovely hair. I mean, this tousled hair looks great. And his face looks great as well. So that's going to be really easy to put to good use. Here's another minifigure. I quite like this one because it had the diving sort of logo on it. So there's kind of like a mini submarine type logo on there. And even this symbol down here is to sort of represent diving. It's one of those diving flags, isn't it? Again, obviously nothing on the back of the torso, but a different head as well with a mic and so on. So I can put that to good use as well. And black trousers, can always find a use for those. And then this seller also had quite a few body parts as well. So this is what looks almost like pajamas with volcanoes on and clouds and it's from the Volcano Garmadon, which is also a Lego Ninjago movie minifigure. But I kind of thought if I changed the hands out for yellow hands, somebody could just be wearing that as a kind of loud shirt, maybe down the beach or something like that. It's an odd pattern, but, you know, people have odd shirts in real life. And I think having a lot of variety in torsos, because, you know, City, there's only about 30, 40 torsos in total. So you've really got to try and mix it up as best you can. With that in mind, here's 3 more. So there's an old one, an old racers one with, I'm going to say, an alligator on the front. It could be a crocodile, but I don't know, sort of broad head. It almost looks like an alligator to me. Nice green. I'll probably change the hands out so it's just an interesting top. Maybe it's a child's top. Who knows, that one. It's kind of got the sort of Velcro-y top that a racer would have, but yeah, I think it'll still work. Blue stripy torso. Obviously the equivalent of the red one. Used to get a lot of ladies wearing red tops and men wearing blue tops in the really old City sets. I don't know quite why that was, but it did seem they were very gender specific, but they needn't be. And then this one's rather fun. Again, I'll probably change out the hands. In fact, that's got a broken hand anyway, so that helps me make the decision. But this is a SpongeBob SquarePants top, actually, from Superhero Patrick, from the set 3815, Heroic Heroes of the Deep. And that's actually the set that my favourite SpongeBob character, Plankton, comes in. I think he comes in a couple of sets, but that's the one I've got with that sort of evil grin. It's got a little bit of damage to this, but I don't think it's too bad to not use. And I think that's a really interesting torso for somebody to be wearing. Of course, if I give them yellow hands, it's going to look all yellow, isn't it? It'll look almost like they've just got a green symbol painted on their chest, but we'll have to see how that looks. Another torso in here. Lots of bags this time. So that's another torso with a nice bow tie and sort of Argyle pattern sweater. That's from the Series 7 computer programmer. So I like that one as well. Ooh, some legs. So legs are pretty boring most of the time because they're usually just a block colour or just got some sort of faint patterning on, like these pockets or something. So whenever I see some that are a bit more interesting, I try and get them. So this is from the Series 1 Cheerleader, obviously the blue one. And, you know, it's not much up to itself, but the thing is, it is a bit different. So anyone could be wearing a skirt down the beach or maybe to the fairground or something like that, or just in a street. So why not mix it up a little? I mean, that's something you'd see quite a lot of. I mean, you'd have a lady looking like that quite easily. So I'm very happy with that. Now these are fun. So as a lot of you know, I like all the agents and ultra agents lines. And one of the more interesting ideas, I suppose, that they explore is having sort of a robot drone army. That's a little bit bent. And that's what these are. So instead of having a head, they have one of these sort of antenna pieces, or lever pieces, some people call them. And you can see it's kind of a robot that's powered by magma or molten rock. And it's got the Dr. Inferno logo on the torso there. And there's more sort of magma and workings going on the back. And he's got this bionic arm. Well, the whole thing's bionic, really. So gun arm. And you can have a whole army of these. They only came in one set, which was the 8971 Aerial Defence Unit, which was a great big helicopter for the agents. But the baddie in that set was a guy called Magma Commander, who I've got. And Magma Commander is very cool and has, in that set, 3 of these drones to, do his evil bidding. And I've actually got, I think I've got 2 drones already. So this is the 3rd. So that helped him have a nice army. Then I've got another minifigure, which I think this may be a Paradiso torso. It's definitely in the right pink. Anyway, it's a bit different, isn't it? Necklace, sort of spotted top with kind of a halter neck and short sleeves. Very heavily made up face and some brown hair. I think that might even be old brown rather than reddish brown. So good variety again. Very happy with that. What we got here? Some flower pieces in lavender. That's just topping up. They were probably a penny each or something. So usually after I've finished with my brick order, I just do a little search of all the person's parts for sale and just sort it by price. And if you do it the reverse way, so all the very, very cheapest parts are first. And then I just go through the first couple of pages of that. And if they're really giving something away for a penny a piece or something, then I might just add those to my basket, because I mean, at that price, who's to argue? Right, then we've got a load of heads. So let me make these into a nice tower, and then we can look at those. All right. So at the top there, we've got a very determined female face with a couple of beads of sweat or a smile on the other side. And that's from the Series 16 Kickboxer, that top one. So I'll easily be able to use that, I'm sure. Next one's just got a little goatee and sort of fuzzy eyebrows and a kind of, I don't know what you'd describe that look as. Kind of scared, I guess, or I don't know, confused. Anyway, I don't know if I've even got that head before. It's not a serious one. It's just not in many sets. So anyway, I've got it now, or another one now, so I quite like that. He almost looks like a sort of skater dude with that little tiny square goatee. Then with that monobrow, who else could it be but Lord Business, or President Business, I think it is, from the Lego movie. And there might be a tiny bit of damage on the mouth on that side, which is a real shame, because that's probably the side I'd have wanted to use. Yeah, it's a pity. But I can always use this sort of nonplussed face instead. So not all is lost. Then we've got a nice sort of cheery leprechaun face from Series 6. He looks very happy. Then we've got a female face there with nice eyelashes. I think that is from the Series 9 Mermaid, from memory. And that's a very nice one. And then we've got two the same at the bottom. Again, one-sided. Sort of made up with nice pink eyeliner and pink lips. And they're from the Series 6 Skater Girl. But all these heads will give me great variety for the minifigures of Brick Nottingham. Very good. Get rid of these smaller bags first. I've got a trident. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to use that for. Then I've got some more under the sea pieces. I've been collecting these lime dinosaur tails just to sort of use as kind of seagrass or kelp or something like that. So I'm going to get absolutely load of those, and usually they're about a penny or 2p each or something. When they're 10p or something, I just wouldn't buy them because they're not worth that. Then I got a crab, which was actually described as being in orange colour, which would be that colour. And I thought I didn't have one in that colour, whereas this one actually is in the bright yellowish orange, which is kind of in between yellow and red, yellow and orange, as you can see. So actually that's of less interest because that's just a very normal crab. So anyway, not too bad, but I think I might have paid over the odds for that one as a result. Then I've got lots of curved pieces in tan for my beach. So these are all going to be making my sand area look a lot more interesting. Adding some curves and things like that. All very good. These white bits are just some early bits so I can start planning my next mock modular. So it's going to definitely have some white bricks in it. So that's what a lot of these are. So I'm just stocking up where I see some cheap. I haven't finished designing it, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to need yet. But I know I'm going to need lots of small plates. So it's easy to buy those. And I've started buying more of these Friends star pieces. because I'm going to use them as daffodils. Because, I mean, this may have been obvious to all of you watching, I don't know, but I always sort of thought of them as stars or starfish. So I've used them as starfish on a beach before. I've used them as stars on the wall of a hotel to sort of say it was a 5-star hotel or something like that. So all sorts of different things. But I never thought of turning them that way. So they've kind of got a little trumpet and using them as flower heads. And if you think about it, if you know what a daffodil looks like, you'll think, oh gosh, yeah, it's pretty obvious really, isn't it? So I'm going to have a scene with lots of daffodils just, in a grass verge or something like that. More bits for my beach. Loads of the cheese wedge pieces, just so I can have sand all piled up against all the edges and all sorts of things. So that's good. I don't know why I'm pushing these off to one side. Pushing them off with the bags rather than keeping them with the pieces. And then another crab in an unusual colour, and this time it is as advertised. It's in that tan colour, so that's good. So he'll be very well camouflaged actually on the sand if that's where I decide to use him. Good, good. Another mixed bag. Lots more white pieces for this modular. These are jumper plates. And these are just so useful because you need them maybe in windows or all sorts of other features to offset things by that half a stud. And just setting windows back, for example, by half a stud in a wall just makes them look so much better. So you need an absolute load of these. So they must have been pretty cheap here, so I just filled my boots. Right, lots of small pieces. So I've got more of these things to be used as sort of beach railings, not beach railings, railings, sort of posh, fancy railings. I quite like those, so I just got a few of those because they were cheap. I need these for my subway stop to hold up the lights. There's a couple of those. Got this tile from Friends. And I don't know why I bought that, but it may come in use. I was thinking maybe it could be like a pop star or something like that, and it could be like an advert for it. But the more I think about it, the less I'm sure of that. A lot of these little pink flowers, which I really like actually, because they're a bit different from the normal sort of Lego City flowers that we get. So it just shows a bit more horticultural variety. There we go. That's a tongue twister. So that's like the daffodils and so on. And I appreciate that my city doesn't have much in the way of plant life at the moment. And that's because I haven't got around to it really. I like to do the big things first, get them all in place, and then you can kind of fill in all the gaps with the nature. Because if you try and do the nature first, or as you go even, you end up pulling up half of it as you need to put in a new building or what have you. Then I've got a lavender headpiece. And the reason I got that, this isn't from this haul, but if you remember I got this pufferfish. I kind of gave it this sort of mouthpiece, which looks a bit over the top, but quite funny. I thought if an alternative might be just to put a lavender headpiece in this, just to make it look a bit more like a fish. That might actually be better, mightn't it? And I can still use this sort of set of nasty teeth somewhere else in my undersea scenes, which are probably a long way off anyway. So that's good. So I'll put those to one side. In fact, no, I need to wash that one. Okay. And I got a red parrot for my parrot collection. And it is red, so that's good. And it's not just with the face markings rubbed off. So that's also good. So I don't know why, but I'm collecting the parrots. Some are quite expensive, actually, because of the rareness. But this one wasn't. And was only available in 2 sets. One of the Forts and Treasure Island 7071. So that's good. So I've got him now. Very nice. Bold red colour. Ooh, I've got some trans pieces. Got medium blue, which is my favourite blue for splashes. For the water, along my shoreline and so on. So a few of those. And some 1x2 trans red plates. For things like brake lights. And on trains. And train mocks. Ooh, maybe I'm doing some train mocks. Yep, I am. I'm doing some train mocks. More More jumper plates, this time the 2x2 variety. Another big mix bag to finish off with. Let's tip this back here so it's all in shot. Ooh, lots of little pieces. So this is probably me buying everything that was cheap. But I know some of these pieces in the light bluish grey, these especially, because I didn't have any of these, just these kind of, well, they kind of the opposite of arches, whatever you'd call that, kind of curved concave slopes in grey, and a few of the plates in grey that I needed because I just didn't have enough are for my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle lair, which will be based in the sewers of Brick Nottingham, as you'd expect. And I think now I've got all the pieces for, so we can do that soon. Brilliant. I've got some dark brown kind of planter pieces, so I can put some sets of flowers in those. And I think I'll be adding a pair of those to my station that we're currently developing at the moment. But I've got 6 of those, it looks like. Some odd bricks in blue, brown, black. Quite a few of these to help building trees, because I can clip that onto any sort of bar piece and then maybe put tree limbs on any of those. I don't know, I'm going to do a massive experimentation with trees soon when I've accumulated enough pieces, which should be pretty soon, and probably do a tree video, whole video dedicated to the production of trees for my city, because it's looking pretty non-green at the moment. Yeah, and then it's just a few more random plates, to be honest, so not much to see. But all in all, a good bit of variety. Everything I needed to finish the beach, which is probably the most important and pressing thing. A lot more minifigure pieces, a lot more stuff for nature around my city, and arguably most important actually, is the final pieces for my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sewer. Awesome. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with that. I'll have to think how to use the Magma Commander and all his magma drones. Another set of baddies for my city. It's going to get overrun at this rate. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, I think we're back to the beach on Friday for another general city update, and then it will be part 3 of the train station build on Monday. See you then!